What up, YouTube? I thought I'd come back and do a new video because of all the different stuff that's been going on this week. Sort of a new realization came to me on Thursday. I'm not exactly for sure if it's true or not, but if it is true, it has some very big world-changing implications. Today is April 15th, 2017. Hope you enjoy this cast, the Sadhu cast number 6. Peace. So what I'd like to talk to you today about is sort of a theory that I have to try to explain what's going on within the Trump administration at this moment. Because the past week and a half have been really wild with a lot of 180s going on in the foreign policy, in Syria, in North Korea, on the domestic front, many different things. And so a realization came to me this week that I'm not for sure if it's true or not, but I'd like to talk about it now just in case it comes true later. And so that's basically the idea that Trump is in this kind of long-term chess match to dismantle the deep state. And so I believe that something that he, or the intelligence that he is receiving and helping him do something, is he's putting very high people in the military in charge of certain just in charge in general, but in actuality, they're being watched very closely. This is to gather evidence to eventually kind of take them down per se. So really the only thing that makes sense to me is if these higher intelligence agencies, they know who the worst kind of military people are. You've seen a lot of admirals in the Air Force and high-ranking people, admirals in the Navy and high-ranking people in the Air Force that have been taken down in the past year. So I think that basically they're probably just waiting for the people in the army and the general. And it makes even more sense that to really get the maximum amount of evidence on them and to get all the rats out, they actually put them in charge of the NSC and the decision making to see these very bad plans that they have had all along. And so we're starting to see that in Syria with the false flag recently. And then going ahead with the bombing is what can happen now is that Trump can come and say, look, our NSC, McMaster and Petraeus and these generals were passing along fake intel. That's why I bombed them. So this is a very treasonous offense if you're passing fake intel to do this. And I think it's been going on for a long time in the Obama and the Bush administrations. And so Trump can now say to all of these different groups, we're very sorry, but we've had bad intel being passed by these specific generals for a long time. And so if this happens, the world is going to change overnight. You're going to get huge Trump support within the United States. You're going to get huge Trump support in Europe, in the Middle East. Trump can go to Iraq, to Syria, to Libya, to all these groups that have been negatively affected by the deep state and their military arms. You can go to them and basically apologize and offer reparations, offer support, offer many different things. But this is basically giving a scapegoat for these decisions. And so it's very hard to take down the deep state from behind the scenes. But if you can take down the people in the military that are complicit with the deep state, then you're basically cutting them out at the ankles from that point on. And so I think that this is a long-term plan that's going on. I think it's perfectly coinciding with Syria and North Korea. The NSC is purposely pushing for war against North Korea and Syria. And so if there is some type of a major shakeup that happens, the wars and this much more peaceful time can come. I think that the MOAB, the mother of all bombs that was dropped in Afghanistan, was a very specific sign sent to deep state operatives around the world and ISIS saying, listen, we are cleaning house. If you do not go along with the program, if you do not surrender, we have the biggest military bombs ever created. They're non-nuclear, but they will kill you. So you must take this as a sign to surrender or we're coming for you. That's what I see it as. I just saw a new report that said that the Pakistani intelligence services had 500 people deployed there to protect these ISIS members. So that's cleaning the house when you take out 600 bad dudes who are not going along with the new program. And so I think that McMaster, Petraeus, and a bunch of guys are about to just get, whew, they're about to get taken down. It would solve so many problems. It would be a huge thing of support for Trump. I don't want this video to stop that from happening, but at the same time, this is what I see is going to come. It makes plenty more sense to me than kind of any narrative that I've heard, because Trump is a smart guy. He's been putting great people into his office. Not everyone's great, but no one's really, really bad. McMaster, Petraeus, these guys are really bad dudes. The only thing that makes sense is them purposely putting them in charge and baiting them to make these bad decisions. Then they can be used as the scapegoat for Trump to say, hey, we're sorry to the world for many different things. And so I hope this happens. I think it's going to happen. It can bring peace very rapidly. The only reason that McMaster and these guys would be here is if they've been doing bad things for a long time. I don't think that they would just be a fake scapegoat. I think that they are actually criminals and complicit with the deep state's crimes. So this is going to work out perfectly. Trump is masterfully playing chess if this is what happens. I think it is. And so just keep an eye out. It definitely makes it more interesting. And if it's true, hallelujah. So I think that North Korea is sort of also figuring out that there's going to be a lot of changes coming there. Trump has been putting a lot of pressure on China to intervene, which he should and China should. I think maybe one of the only reasons that North Korea is supported so much by China is because things are so fucked up in China that they want to have a country that's worse than them close by, and they can show their people, hey, well, at least you're not like the North Koreans. Come on, China, get your shit together. Stop your controlling people through the way that you do. Allow the people to have freedom. Stop fudging the numbers. Stop your ridiculous control schemes and controlling North Korea. Help North Korea. Help your own citizens. You can do it. So anyways, that's all I wanted to say for this video, just to get it out there. It's kind of a theory that I haven't heard much. And so hope you enjoyed the video. Peace out. Uncompromised humanity. Let's win. Happy Easter!